Okay, I know you're pumped. You've spent hours, days, weeks even on the simulator. You're confident. You tell yourself, I'm ready. Let's go out. Tomorrow I'm gonna go and fly. Wait, here are 10 tips you need to know before you go and get yourself up there in the sky. Roll that intro. Good morning everyone, The Real Rahim here and welcome back. Great to see you join me for another episode, but before I start, let me just mention that this channel is about vlogs, drones, tutorials and tech stuff. Anything and everything. I just want to make videos, right? But recent video really picked up. I don't know what happened, but if you haven't watched the video, I'll leave you a link somewhere up here around the screen. Okay, I just gotta mention that at this point of recording, this channel has finally crossed the 400 subscribers mark. Welcome all the new subscribers and thank you very much for your support. Now, bring in the love. I know you wanna do it, don't leave me hanging. For all those new to the channel, I hope you find the content useful and do give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos coming up soon. Oh, and I almost didn't realize, it's the holidays. Now for all those celebrating, have a good Friday and happy Easter Day. Let's get on with the video. Okay, now first thing before even heading out, go and check whether the area you'll be flying is a fly or no fly zone. You do not want to go and make that journey all the way to the location, take that time and then discover that the drone will not launch, okay? This drone, DJI will not let it launch if you are in a no-fly zone, and even if you manage to fly, you'll be breaking some airspace laws. So now, go and check on that. For Singapore, we have something called Warmup. Okay, it's an app that where you can look and tap on the drone inquiry. It will show you all the different no-fly zones around Singapore. So just check on that before you go out there to fly. Go and reformat those cards. You may be having a fresh card or you are reusing the card from other electronic equipment. Now what we want to create here is the habit of having a fresh card and archiving any old footage that's already in the card, right? So because you know you'll be recording like in 4K 60, 1080, 100 FPS, those are very big file sizes, right? You do not want to have a great shot only to have either the card full or the card stop recording due to formatting issues. So go ahead and reformat that card and archive any old footage that you have. These are smart batteries, means they have firmware inside. What does that mean for you, the pilot, is that there is firmware that DJI requires to be updated before you can begin your flight. So it takes time. Now I had all my batteries on the field itself. Only when I want to start flying, then it shows me that firmware is not compatible or not the same, and then I'll need to do updating. So that's at least another 5 minutes before I get to launch my drone. So while you're at home, go and plug in all your batteries and check on their firmware, get them updated and you're good to go. Now let's move on to some good practices on the field. When you want to switch on the whole system, switch on first your goggles followed by your transmitter and then last will be your drone itself. The reason for this is so that in case the drone goes crazy, you have your controls, alright? And in case it starts flying towards the moon, you have video feed to see where the drone is going, right? So FPV pilots follow this flow, and so it's good to also follow this practice out on the field. Do not go and switch on the system unless you have attached all your 4 antenna poles. The reason for this is because the system needs the poles to give out a proper power output. Now, if without the poles, the power output will be within the goggles itself, and that's gonna cause heat and start to burn up the system. So yeah, just make sure you have all the poles attached before you switch on the goggles. Keep the goggles away from direct sunlight. Now the glass on the goggles is meant to help you magnify whatever the image which is within the goggles itself. If you were to leave it in direct sunlight, now that's going to magnify the direct sunlight into your goggles, and then you're going to be having a bad day. So keep it away, keep it in the shade and you're good to go. I recommend that you switch on the audio recording in your drone. Okay, the reason for this is because us as FPV pilots, we want to come back and review the footage, and with the audio on, we can know whether the drone is making any weird noises as it's flying around, and at the same time also we know whether we are flying smoothly by hearing the sound that comes from the drone. Okay, so I recommend that you switch it on. I leave you a description down below on what are the steps on how you will switch on the audio recording, right? Launch your drone from a clean and flat surface. It goes without saying, but nonetheless, I'm going to mention that if you give your drone a flat surface to launch off from, it will level out easy, and at the same time it prevents any dirt, dust, sand, grass all from coming onto your lens and ruining your shot. Now, if you do not have the means to do so, maybe you want to put in a bit of training to hand launch and also hand catch your drone. Now, it's a bit dangerous, but practice and you'll get the hang of it. So now you're up in the skies. Do not go and rush into things, alright? Do a warm-up. Okay, how you do this warm-up is, for me, I do two things. Fly really low to the ground to get a good throttle control practice, and also fly around the area to have a look at what are some of the obstacles and challenges that you may face, and also this helps in testing out your range, alright? Whether any areas are going to give you like bad signal suddenly, and at least you can not visit that area. Not only will I be warming up to the area, but I'll also be warming up on the controls. Okay, one by one, try out the different switches just to give you to regain some muscle memory, and at the same time also warm up yourself to the sticks, where for me I'm gonna practice punching up my quad, bring the throttle to 0, keep it there, and deflecting the right side of the sticks. Now it's gonna send the quad all over the place and you may feel a bit disoriented. If anything, press the pause button. Now here's the last tip, and I bet some pilots will definitely not want to agree with me, but I'm gonna say it. It is okay to use bent props. Coming back from a small crash, you may hear that the drone is making this weird heavy noise, and that's likely due to a bent prop. This set of props, okay, it costs 19 Singapore dollars for just 4 props. For the DIY scene, you guys know that you can really, for $19 you can get like 2 set of 20 props, right? A lot. And so it's really expensive, but if cost is no issue to you, nonetheless, if you find a situation that you don't have spares, right, and you just gotta continue flying, I might as well teach you how to do this right. Okay, so now my drone, the front blade is bent up. How I'm gonna go about doing this is I'm gonna compare to a nearby prop, which is actually the one, the propeller, which is at the rear. So I will see that it levels the same right here. Okay, the next blade also the same. Now this blade is upwards, so I'm just gonna bend it back at the bend point to make it just the same. So now I'm gonna do a fast spin of the prop and compare that it looks about level. Okay, looks good. Just a small difference. Okay, this practice may have just saved you a bit and got you back flying, but I need to let you know of some of the consequences of doing so. Now, if your prop is too damaged, too bent up, and you keep doing this practice, there are a few risks involved. One is it's gonna cause too much vibration from the arm that will travel, and you will see it on the video feed itself. Two is gonna all that vibration is gonna excessively wear your motor and cause heat, making the motors work too hard. Eventually, either your motor will burn out or the ESC, electronic speed controller, is gonna burn out also. At worst risk is that the prop itself may break off. For proven that actually even if you lost one blade, the drone can still fly. Actually, it just a bit not so in control. Maybe enough to get you back safe, but yeah lah, just the risk is that there will be that chance that the prop may break off. If you are not tolerant of all these risks, and then just go and change that prop, it will definitely save you all the worry. Okay, so that's gonna conclude the 10 tips that I have for you to get you out there in the skies. Before we wrap up this video, let's just go through some comments from the previous one. Okay, 85 Design asks a quick question. The clips of you flying have sound prop noise. Is that sound coming from the mic on the drone or the mic of the cam that I'm using? That sound is coming from the sound of the drone, and as I mentioned in the video that you should go and switch on the sound so that you can observe how the drone flies, and at the same time also review how is your flying. The drone property agent, drone property, I guess you're merging the words drone and property, right? The drone property agent mentions, thanks for sharing, really good, hope to see you explain more tricks in FPV. Yes brother, definitely will. Alright, I'll be coming up with another episode which is about a bit more like advanced tricks. I don't know what to call it, advanced or intermediate tricks or the next level of tricks, because end of the day it depends on perspective. To some people are advanced, some people is just these are just basic tricks. Okay, so anyways, yes, a video will be coming up, but it takes time, so wait up for it. Thanks for subscribing. Eagle Eye FPV mentions, bottom line, unless you want to wait for a replacement drone, stay away from those close quarters Acro with the DJI. Best advice I have is keep the DJI for cinematic fast shots and buy another drone compatible with the goggles and fly that one Acro. I would agree with you, definitely. Alright, having flown this drone a while, like I've been flying for about a week or two, it is a capable drone, but it is a merger of two drones. I wouldn't say this FPV drone is a full-on Acro drone, because it feels a bit sluggish. Alright, it's compared to 5-inch builds. 5-inch builds are very planted, right? How you tune it up, how it flies, it has a very confident feel. While for this drone, let's just say it's fat. The pitch and roll is okay, but the throttle response is just a bit sluggish. So yeah, definitely will have to be building a 5-inch drone for those close quarters stuff. And this one I'll keep more for the cinematic kind of scenes. Solo FPV mentions, great video, I'm ready to head out in M mode. I can use as many tips as possible. Glad to be of help, and I hope you know any other drone pilots that need such help. Do share the video to them also. Sherlyn Sharoon, please share gain and Expo rate, bro. Eventually, alright, because I'm still working out on the rates for this drone itself. But you must know that rates are a very personal thing. It depends on how you want the drone to react, and at the same time, what are your tolerances. Okay, for a start, max rate is about how fast the quad spins at max deflection of the sticks, while Expo adjusts this as to whether to make it linear or to make it more gradual. Now, for your center sensitivity, it's to help counter, for me I believe, it's to help counter if you have some jitterness in your hands, right? You may want to mute the center sticks a bit, so that it doesn't twitch the quad as much. Okay, no worries. Once I settle down my rates a bit, not only will I show you what rates I'm using, but at the same time I'll guide you step by step on how I tune up the rates, so you can have a feel for yourself what settings are preferred for you, yourself, the user. Florencio Canafranca mentions, DJI FPV, unlike DJI Spark, need to have internet connection. Yes, you do need to have internet connection during the setup phase, because there will be firmware that you'll need to download and update to all your remote, the drone, the goggles and the batteries. But once all that is done, you do not need any internet connection. You can just bring out the whole system out on the field, switch on, connect up, and you're ready to fly. Python Delipi mentions that to do a backflip and front flip, must I enable somewhere in the settings? Yes, you must, right? Even though the remote has a M switch and you can just flick it, but it does not go into any other settings except for sport mode. Okay, the reason for this is as a safety feature. Unless you are familiar, if you accidentally switch on the M mode, it's gonna get you into trouble. How you're actually gonna go about doing it is you'll need to assign M mode on the remote. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm gonna copy paste these instructions and put it in the description, so that anybody that needs to know how to switch on your manual mode, the full-on manual mode, you can just follow through the instructions. Okay, the last comment is gonna come from Fidaus. He's a flying friend. You crashed your drone. What happened? Well, I did a power loop. I came out of it a bit late, hit the ground hard, damaged the battery, cracked an arm. But my drone still is up in the sky, still can fly. The police did come later on. I'll leave that story for another video. Just so you know, case closed, no issue. Alright, we're all good. Not forgetting to mention, a big thank you also goes out to all those that have been giving your support in the comment section, and keep those comments coming. Alright, that's all I have. I just wanted to share with you some tips, some things that us FPV pilots have been practicing out there on the field, and I hope it can also benefit you when you're out there in the skies. Now, if you've liked the video, do give me a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed yet, I hope you can subscribe down below. Join me in this journey for more vlogs, more tutorials, and other stuff, tech stuff, or other videos. I'm just out there to make videos, alright? And so if you have any questions, chat with me in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you in the skies. Peace.